Hi everyone, I hope you're all well. I was going to say I hope you all had a good weekend, but because it's Easter, it's actually still the weekend, isn't it? Because it's a long weekend. Because was it Easter Monday? I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah, I think it's Easter, what you call Easter Monday. If you're religious, I think the days have got different names. So I am just going to, again, I'm not going to muck about and talk nonsense or anything like that. I just want to go very quickly and dive right into the remaining poems that are in that chapter, which is called Portraits of Pain from In the Shadow of My Pen, a collection of poetry and prose. There is 7 poems left in that chapter, and 3 of the poems I think I've already done them as shorts. I know for a fact that I have done them as shorts. Pieces of Me, obviously Pieces of Me is in Pieces of Me. Roots I've done, I think, as a short, and In the Shadow of My Pen I have done as a short. So really there would be no point in me reading those out today. There is another one that I think might be a bit too raw to read out, so I'm not going to read that one out. I am just going to stick with 3 poems today. I'm just going to stick with 3 poems today. I don't want to. There's one that's called I Bleed Alone, and I think it would probably, not that I have a problem with anything that's too raw, but it could be too raw for anyone that's listening. Although I could put up you can put up these things where you give a trigger warning. I suppose I could do that, but I don't want to do that, so I'm just going to read these 3 poems. One is called The Soul, the next one is called Still Waters, and the third one is called Sink or Swim, and then that will be all the poems from the first chapter in Portraits of Pain. The soul knows what it wants. The soul knows what it needs. Why do we hold on to pain? Why do we let our souls bleed? Your soul is sending you a message. Can you not hear your soul's cry? Allow your soul to open, then shine your light on the world. Don't spend your life living in the dark, playing small. Fly and let the wings of your soul unfurl. And the next one is called Still Waters. Most people hide their pain so well, you would be unaware of their hell, or the demons they fight, and the wounds that still cause them pain. Still waters run deep, but there is no need to be afraid. Still waters may run deep, but if you dive below the surface, you will be amazed at the strength, courage, and resilience they have to survive. So don't write them off because they have very little to say. Still waters run deep, but they are brave. And the last one is called Sink or Swim, and I think I wrote this I think I wrote Sink or Swim when I was on one of my holidays. I always get a bit of a block when I go on holiday, and every year when I go away I say that I'm going to swim in the sea, and every year I bottle it. Basically I bottle it because even though the temperature is like really hot, the sea itself tends to be like you know, and it's just far too cold. It's far too cold for me to even contemplate. I mean, I think when I was in Zante 3 years ago, I think it was, I went in as far as my waist, and then I was like, oh no, I'm sorry, no. I have said that I'm going to do it this year. I have said but well, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. You can notice that I've shifted my PC back, so it is back to where it was before, so you don't see the mess on the bed, which is the suitcase, and yeah, you don't see, although there's nothing, well, there's very little in it, because I'm so, I'm usually way ahead of myself, and yeah, there's not much in it at all, but you know, I always say as long as I've got my medication is the most important thing. As long as I've got my medication, it's fine. So yeah, I will probably do some more of it today. I mean, I've got lists. I like to keep a universal list, and I am digressing here. I keep a universal list so that I don't have to make the list from scratch, and then that is a big thing for me, because my head doesn't take much for my head to become bubbled, as it were. And the performance when I'm leaving is like, I must check my plugs about like 600 times before I walk out the door. So yeah. Anyway, this is the last poem, and it's called Sink or Swim. And as I say, yeah, I do believe that I wrote it 3 years ago or two. Well, this book is 3 years, so yeah, it must have been when I was in Zante. A sea of blue awaits. I have gazed upon these pools many times in recent years. These waters are for deep divers only. All I need is the courage to immerse myself fully. I must unlock the gates to this soul of mine and release the tears from my eyes. If I cry an ocean of tears, will I drown in the waves? The burden of these emotions I have buried is too heavy to carry. So I must sink or swim in this maelstrom of debris. It is the only way to be free of this weight and the pain. And I have to say, in terms of that particular poem and its references, that I do cry more now than I have ever cried. I used to think that it was a sign of weakness to cry, and I used to keep the stiff upper lip and hold it all in. I don't hold it all in now. I just let it, like yesterday. Yesterday was not a good day. Yesterday was not a good day, and there was so many tears that were shed yesterday, and I think you just have to go with it. You just have to go with it. There's no point in holding anything in. It's very damaging. It's very damaging to hold anything in, I believe. So, yeah, yesterday I was not in a good one, and I actually wrote a poem about, I called it The Rabbit Hole, because I was so far down the rabbit hole yesterday. But today I'm fine. Today I'm fine, apart from, and you know what that is? You know what? Years ago when I was working somewhere, I remember someday this old lady said to me that that's bad living. That is bad living. Really, like, I don't smoke, I don't drink. Yeah, but apparently it's bad living, so I hope it'll be away before it should be. So enjoy the rest of your Easter weekend, and as always, thanks for being here. Thanks for your likes, your comments, your shares. It is always greatly appreciated. Don't eat too much chocolate, because that is bad living. And I will be back on Friday. I have no idea what the date is on Friday. I only know there's 30 days in September, April, June and November. All the rest have 31. So we don't need to count it. Please don't ask me how long it is till I go away, because I know how long it is. And it's, yeah, I know I say it every day, but I did download the passes. I've got my passes. I've checked in. My passport's up to date. I still have a year on my passport. So we're good. We're all good. I shall see you on Friday, guys. As always, take good care. Bye for now.